Well, new at 6, the big man and his reindeer are already on the move, delivering presents to people all across the world. But how do we know where he's at on his journey? WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker spoke one-on-one with NORAD, the military agency who has all the answers on where Santa Claus is.
It's all hands on deck Christmas Eve.
Santa, how can I help you?
The elves have done their part, getting all the gifts onto Santa's sleigh, and Saint Nick is off to deliver them. But how do we know where he is?
Well, we have 1,500 dedicated U.S. and Canadian personnel.
Major General Huddleston with Peterson Air Force deliver them. But how do we know where he is?
Well, we have 1,500 dedicated U.S. and Canadian personnel.
Major General Huddleston with Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado says NORAD tracks him using radar feeds.
Tracking Santa through satellites and also through airborne assets, fighters, and that sort of thing.
He says it's hard to predict when he'll make his rounds in the Carolinas, but recommends parents get the kids off to bed quickly.
Based on our historic tracking of Santa, he arrives in North American cities anywhere between 9 and midnight local times.
With millions of stops along the way, the sleigh has got to be pretty heavy.
We've estimated it to be 60,000 gumdrops heavy.
A unit of measurement no one can argue. An impressive task doing all this work in just one night.
Time doesn't mean the same thing to Santa as it does to us. He starts in the Pacific, he heads westwards.
NORAD using the same tools the military uses daily.
And we just turn our assets on December 24th towards Santa, towards the North Pole.
Keeping you in the know on one of the biggest days of the year. In Charlotte, Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.
All right, how much folly was that, man? You know, it's like, oh, man. Like you said, this take a toll on you, man, because you people are really stupid, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you Americans, that you sit up there lying to your kids, right? Gassing them up, you know what I'm saying? And they get all into these lies, right? You know, they got all this shit going on, right? It's just insane, man. Just the folly of this place, man. Folly, which goes back into foolishness, is exalted, man. And it keep you people in a dumbed down, comatose, zombie-like state. And you got our people, they don't have no knowledge, just rocking around in complete ignorance, right? Just doing this time and time again, every year. The same right? Nothing never changes. That's why this doctrine is only for the elect. And I was going to do a long, extensive lesson about Christmas, but, I've already did lessons on this. You Jakes got to stop being lazy. You new brothers, right? Got to stop being lazy and roll your sleeves up, so to speak, and do your own homework. We can't do everything for you, right? So I'm going to just get into a few things. This is not going to be a long lesson. By now, you should know this is a pagan day. This ain't got nothing to do with Yahweh Shai, right? As you know, it's JC, Jesus, right? Wasn't born on this day. It's nowhere in the Bible. So if you're doing this, this is idolatry, right? Just to make it straight to the point, because Jake wants you to break down everything, right? Salakia, I didn't mean to do that. So what is pagan? What is a pagan day, right? Let's go here. Pagan, when you go into the word pagan, right? When you break down the root of the word, origin, it goes back into, Latin, of course. And it means villager, rustic, heathen. All right, so this is a heathen custom. And you can track this all the way back to the Roman Empire, right? It goes back into, they even had remnants of this going on in ancient Babylon, the first Babylon, right? Matter of fact, let me show you something. You had Nimrod deified ancient Nineveh artifact, right? And it says Nimrod's birthday, December 25th, right? So that's how they got this character, Saint Nicholas, which the real Saint Nicholas, right? I haven't did that that research in a while. It's going back into Jake, the Israelite, that was doing the Holy Roman Empire, right? If I'm not mistaken, like I said, I haven't went over this in a long time, right? And they copied this the same story, the same idols being repackaged and renamed, right? So it's nothing new under the sun, right? So pagan, let me go to this one. That's how you got the term paganism, right? It says the meaning pagan is a person who practices contemporary form of paganism, all right? neo-pagan, which means new pagan, right? It's a worship of idols. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find another one. Let me see. Yeah, you get it. It's worship of different gods right here. A person who worships many gods, a goddess, or the earth or nature. So you a lot of jakes you get into worshiping nature. You call things Mother Nature, right? I'm gonna do a lesson on that in a later time, right? So there's no such thing as no Mother Nature and all this madness, right? Let's go here. Now I'm gonna get into this article. Matter of fact, let me get into this article first. Like I said, I was gonna do a long, extensive lesson, but just wanted to kind of get this out the way, right? Because you brothers that's been in the truth a minute, you already know what time it is. You brothers and you sisters. This more for the new people. What you're gonna have to do research. You're gonna have to do your own homework. It says right at the top. One second. Let me read this. It says, when you put up that tree, tack a wreath on the door, and maybe hang a mistletoe from the lintel. What are you signifying? All right. It says evergreen trees were important fertility symbols for the pre-Christian ceremonies marking the winter solstice. So that's going into that. It says people from the ancient societies believed that by decorating their homes and temples with evergreen plants such as holly, ivy, and mistletoe, they would happen to carry the diminished sun through a critical period. It says mistletoe was the most sacred plant of the Druids, right? It says it was given great reverence because it grows on the venerated oak. The custom of kissing under the mistletoe comes from the ancient idea that the mistletoe is the oak's genitals. It is so, and is so it was believed that the embrace under its glistening berries were sure guarantee of a fruitful union. The decoration of Christmas trees is a survival of pagan tree veneration. Right, so they used to worship all kind of things, objects, trees, you name it, right? For centuries before Christianity, which would be, you Israelites, it says holly was used for celebrating their midwinter Saturnalia, right? It says while all the greenery in a home decked out of Christmas is beautiful to look at, which we don't agree with that. It says these customs have nothing at all to do with Hamashiach, or they say Christ. It says, in fact, they are sheer paganism directly descended from ancient rites, practices long before Yahweh's birth. All right, it says, see Jeremiah 10 and 5. 10, 1 through 5. I'm going to pull that next. It says, let me get straight to some meat of it. It says two key figures in the origin of Christmas are Nimrod, a great-grandson of Noah, and his mother, the wife Semiramis, also known as Isitor Isis. Nimrod, known in Egypt as Osiris, was the founder of the first world empire at Babel, later known as Babylon. Genesis got the precept, the scriptures right here. It says from ancient sources such as the epic Gilgamesh, it says, and the records unearthed archaeologists from long ruined Mesopotamia and Egypt's cities, we can reconstruct subsequent events. It says after Nimrod's death, Semiramis promoted the belief that he was God. She claimed that she saw a full-grown evergreen tree spring out the roots of the dead tree stumps, symbolizing the springing forth of new life for Nimrod. On the anniversary of his birth, she said Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts under it. His birthday fell on the winter solstice at the end of December. You hear this? Right, so this is where all this stuff goes back into it. It's been passed on through these different societies, these different empires. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just all idolatry. There's nothing good about this. All right, let me get born to this. It says a few years later, Semiramis bore a son, Horus Gilgamesh. She declared that she had visited by the spirit of Nimrod, who left her pregnant with the boy. It says Horus, she maintained, was Nimrod reincarnated with a father, mother, and son deified. Right, there you go. It says a deceptive, perverted trinity was formed, and there's no such thing as the Trinity either. That's all made up. It says Ramesses and Horus were worshipped as the Madonna and Child. As generations passed, they were worshipped under other names in different countries and languages. Many of these recognizable Fortuna and Jupiter in Rome, Aphrodite and Adonis in Greece, Azareth and Azareth, the Moloch Baal in Canaan. It says during the time between Babel and Hamashiach, pagans developed a belief that the days grew shorter in the early winter because of their sun god was leaving them. When they saw the length of the days increasing, they celebrated righteousness, unrestrained feasting, and orgies. You hear this? This celebration, known as Saturnalia, was named after Saturn, another name for Nimrod. And it goes on and on, like, all this complete madness. It says the date of December 25th to celebrate Hamashiach birth, or Christ's birth, was chosen to conform to the old pagan Roman holidays called Saturnalia. All right, the ancient Romans kept these holidays around the shortest day of the year. So they go to show you that we nothing. This is nothing but the revised Roman Empire, right? I don't got to go too deep with it, but let me go here. But they was doing all kind of tree worship that ties into this Christmas celebration, right? It says Jeremiah 10. Let me start at 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel. So you stubborn, bull-headed ninjas that don't like to listen. You want to do your own thing. You want to make up excuses. You want to say, I don't celebrate that for that reason. You can't change what things mean and repackage them to what you want them to believe. And a lot of your people family got more influence over your family, bully you into doing certain things, and you don't have no backbone, right? Thus said the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. So this is a heathen custom. This ain't got nothing to do with the Most High or the Son. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. That's all these different events that's going on within the sky, the heavens of heavens, in the so-called outer space. It says, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen, which with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold, like how they do these trees today. It's nothing new under the sun. They doing the same thing, but now they just call it Christmas. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. And some of these trees, people actually go cut them down. They cut down a real tree and fasten it up in their household, throw Christmas lights on them, bells and whistles, and put Christmas presents on them. It says they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. This is literally explaining the tradition that you people call Christmas today, right? And you knuckleheads that say this ain't talking about Christmas. Christmas wasn't created yet, so this was before that, but it's that same custom. And a lot of you jakes are superstitious, man. You believe in this Santa Claus BS, and you saw you people get all into this madness. They actually wasting money doing this, man. Right? Superstition. Let me go here. You jakes, man. Don't split the pole. You jakes out your mind, man. It says a belief at the very top or practice resulting from ignorance. There you go. I ain't got to go too deep, right? You people all into this Santa Claus and you into all this folly. It's all this foolishness, man. That's all it is. Ecclesiastes 10:6. Folly is set in great dignity. Like you saw the opening of this video, all that's complete folly. When you go into the word folly, this means foolishness. And the rich sitting in low places would be this knowledge right here that brothers are teaching, the highest wisdom knowledge in this universe. It's not, people don't regard it as nothing. But you got some most of our people whacked out of their mind, right? Pushing these lies to their kids and brainwashing them, indoctrinating them. That's why a lot of these adults are messed up, because they happen in childhood. And y'all consider this harmless fun, right? It's not harmless fun. It's idolatry, and it's wicked, and it needs to stop. All right. Hopefully, this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rachat, Kodesh. Shalom.